How's it going, everybody? Today we are back in Scum, and one of the questions that I've been asked quite a bit for the past couple of days is how do I manage to tank some of the damage from the NPCs in the early game. The last time we played, we went up against a couple of lower tier NPCs on an official server, and we tanked a few of their shots, and the question was, how? Well, the answer is very simple. It's because of the improvised bulletproof vest. This item can tank quite a bit of damage from the lower tier NPCs that usually have, improvised weapons, bows, crossbows. On official settings, the vest is extremely useful and fairly easy to craft as well. We just need a few things for it. Now, I'm not sure about community servers. They could have changed the damage that the NPCs do or the damage that the vest can absorb, but on official server settings, the vest will save our life, and it's basically an essential item at the moment if we want to survive in the early game. Without a vest, even a tier 1 NPC with a basic weapon like a crossbow can take us down in just a few shots, like we can see here. I got blasted about 3 times and I was done for. But as soon as I put on an improvised bulletproof vest, an NPC with a crossbow at almost point blank range could not do any damage whatsoever to us. As we can see here, we kept on getting blasted and we weren't getting injured at all, and that's because the armor was absorbing the damage, and while it was tanking some of the shots, the vest was losing durability, so the damage was going towards, destroying our vest little by little. But of course we can fix up the vest with a toolbox. Now the vest will of course only protect the middle part of our character, the chest and the tummy, and as we can see here, I got blasted once with a pistol and the bullet hit the vest, and we didn't lose any health, but then I caught one in the leg and then another one in the arm, and that of course damaged us quite a bit. But when it comes to higher tier NPCs, the vest won't be as good, but it's a lot better than nothing. A tier 3 NPC with a rifle can potentially take us down in a single shot if we are not wearing a vest. But if we have one, there's a chance that we can survive quite a few shots, as we can see here. And it's the same system as with the crossbows or bows. The armor takes the damage and its durability goes down more and more as we get blasted, but we can stay alive for quite a bit of time. And we can maybe survive the tier 4 and 5 NPCs as well if we catch the bullets in the vest, but it's not going to protect us as much as it does with the lower tier NPCs. But for higher tier NPCs, we of course have higher tier vests like the SWAT vest. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the improvised vest is supposed to protect us this much, or if it's a bit broken at the moment. There's no real way of knowing, but one thing is for sure, right now it is very good against the NPCs and it can tank tons of damage. If we have one and we run into enemies with bows and crossbows, we can literally sit there and they will not be able to take us down as long as we have one of these improvised vests. Having that said though, we're not going to be able to enjoy this for too long because in quarter 3 of the year there will be an armor rework, and I'm guessing that they will change up the armor system quite a bit and modify them, lower or increase the amount of damage that they can tank, so we gotta enjoy it while it lasts. But yeah, personally, I think that as soon as we start fresh on a server or in single player, our first priority should be gathering the materials that we need to craft the vest. The big issue is the sewing kit, because to make the sewing kit we need thread or fishing line, and sometimes they are both so hard to find, but the rest of the materials are really easy to get. We can find metal and bolts in the cars. We can also craft bolts from the metal scrap. We can get leather from the zombies, so really the big issue is the sewing kit, but after looting, a town or two, we should be able to find some thread and craft the vest. And then of course, if we can't find a weapon to defend ourselves with, crafting the improvised ones is really easy as well, and they can be very good against the enemies that we can run into, NPCs, zombies, players. Probably not as good against the dropships though. Does anybody know, is it possible to destroy a dropship? We can take down the mechs with enough firepower, but can we take down a dropship? If we have some RPGs and a whole squad of teammates, can we take one down? If you guys know, do please let me know as well down below. But long story short, the improvised gear can be very useful, the vest especially, and as I've said, I'm not 100% sure if it's supposed to protect us this much or if it's a bit broken at the moment and it's tanking way too much damage. Let me know down below, what do you guys think about the vest? Is it alright for it to tank this much damage, or do you think it's a bit too much at the moment, at least against the lower tier NPCs? Personally, I think it's alright given the fact that we don't always get blasted in the vest, we can get hit in the face or in the arms, in the legs, so it's only protecting a small part of our hitbox, and of course more often than not we run into a couple of NPCs, not just one, so it's only fair that we should be able to tank some of their shots if we get jumped by a handful of NPCs, and sometimes they just blast us out of nowhere, so the vest, it gives us a fighting chance more or less. Oh, and I should mention that the improvised stab-proof vest is worth crafting as well because it can protect us quite a bit from the tier 1 NPCs. Alright, so let's see here. Will the stab-proof improvised vest protect us a bit here from the tier 1 NPC? So right here we have a tier 1 NPC with a bow and arrow. We're gonna see if we can tank a few of his shots. Let's see. Ooh! Oh, it's working well. We're not getting damaged at all. And the stab-proof vest is barely losing any durability. Look at this. About 4 shots and it's... Ooh! Right. He blasted us in the vest a few times and then he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna headshot this guy. So it can tank a few shots, as long as we don't get hit in the face, we can survive quite a few body shots. My goodness. I did not expect that. I thought he was gonna keep on blasting us in the vest. What a creeper. Alright, take 2, and this time around we have the K63 helmet on, so hopefully it's gonna protect us in case this NPC decides to blast us in the face. But yeah, as we were seeing earlier, we can tank quite a few shots with this vest as well, mostly from the bows, against the gun. This is definitely not going to work, but yeah, look, we're not taking any sort of damage to our HP, but our vest is getting, damaged over time from the bows. Oh, here we go, we got shot in the arm, and that gave us a C1 bleed, and we lost 8% from our HP here. So yeah, if we get shot in the vest, we're not gonna take any damage whatsoever, but if we get shot, in the limbs or in the face, we are definitely going to get absolutely wrecked. But look at this. Oh, I'm limping! Alright, let's take this guy down really fast. There we go, we got him. The stun from the Mashiri as well can be so deadly. If somebody runs up on us and starts doing this, especially like with high strength, we are going to be in big trouble. But yeah, check it out. We've managed to tank tons of shots and the stab-proof vest is still at 50% durability. Well, this has been a pretty long-winded answer, but there we go. For those of you that asked how we tanked some of the damage the last time we played, it's because of the improvised vest. And another thing that I've noticed is that if we get blasted in the back whilst wearing, backpack full of loot, it feels like the backpack absorbs some of the damage as well, and just like the vest, it loses durability as it absorbs the damage. But there you go, we'll stop here for today. Again, do please let me know down below what you guys think about the vests, and thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. I hope you have enjoyed. In case you did, be sure to drop some stuff and things down below, and I will see you in the next one with some more video games.